everybody, this is Rich from the Metal Cell podcast. I'm delighted to welcome Xander, Evan, Alex and Brian of Worn Out. How are you, lads?
All right.
Good.
All good.
All right.
Yeah.
Very good.
We are up in their rehearsal studios. The first time I've been up here, actually, so thanks for the invite.
We thought you built it.
So, we're here to talk about waste. It came out yesterday, and what was the kind of reaction so far? We'd maybe start with you, Brian, in relation to friends. Obviously, have heard it maybe for a fair bit, but like seeing it that it's out now.
Yeah, like I suppose for us it was just about getting it out. Like we're sitting on it for 2 years, so it's just take a shit, wipe your arse, really. You know, like we're just happy to just have it out there. Realistically, most the reception's been positive so far, but it's mostly our friends, people that know us already. Maybe a little bit biased so far, so I suppose time will tell what the reaction's like. But we're happy with it. Yeah. And that's the main thing, really.
Alex?
Yeah, like I'm pretty happy with the reception so far. Like the people who listen to it really seem to dig it, and I'm so relieved actually that it's finally out. We've been sitting on this for ages, almost 2 years now. So, yeah.
Okay.
There's loads of people making fun of me, and I want to call a few out. No, it's actually been great. Even all the reviews that we got in were kind of like, because it's one thing, as you're saying, like when you have people that know you that listen to that'll be biased, but some guy that is never going to see you face to face and can say whatever he wants, and you're getting 8, 9s and 10s. Do you know what I mean? That's I think where it comes. Not that it's like all about the reviews, but it's nice to hear from people that don't have any connection to you whatsoever, and they're listening to things every day.
Yeah,
that,
exactly.
it actually stands out to them as something that's not actual gack. So that's always good.
Xander, any vibes?
Yeah, like I mean, we've been sitting on it for so long, and it's like I remember we were meant to drop it in 2020, like when the pandemic proper started, and it was just like I was saying to the lads, let's just fucking release it. Let's just release it. And they were like, no, we need to tour with this and stuff. And it was just like just to finally actually release it now is so good, like, because I mean we've been sitting on it for so long, just showing all the lads, and they're like, oh, this is sick and stuff, and just to finally release it is just so good, like,
it's class.
So,
but like my take from it, and because again, like it's weird because you're all great mates and stuff like that, but like I was just kind of going,
that's new to me.
This is going to be weird listen from my point of view, like, and sure, for Evan, I'm talking to you more or less every second or third week. I've never met you
before in my life, sir.
So my take is like Waste is like a band marking their territory. It's a massive fuck you, I feel, to all the disbelievers, those that doubted the band or wondered if they had the credentials to record something as fearsome as this EP. Sure, there are dark themes explored in the 4 songs, and the sense of abandonment is often overwhelming, almost neurotic and phobic at times. But there's also an aggressive attitude that prevails throughout, that no matter what happens, the band is ready to suffer to achieve, to protect what they've created, even if they have to suffer numerous knockdowns as a consequence. Like a bloodied fighter that soaks all the punishment only for him to prevail at the end. Worn Out or that type of band, write him off at your pearl. Interview over. Thanks, Lord.
Jesus.
So, is there any part of what I kind of read out there to you that you can kind of understand that I picked up from that from the EP? Like,
I think there's definitely an element of feeling like, not like, I don't want to say that it's like we want to prove ourselves, but after having like just singles that were released, and even they were written, there was a good gap in between them, so there's like slight improvements, but not to be a broken record of like, it's 2 years waiting. It's like, we wanted this to be seen as a jump into a whole new thing, and to be seen as an actual band that can do it, or whatever it really is. But it's nice to kind of to have something out that you're actually properly proud of now, that will last for us.
Like, say, Brian, for you, that I know it's very hard to kind of go back. Like, when did you go in to record it?
So our original guitarist had left the band after Siege, and Alex joined about 2-3 months afterwards.
That's
January. So it was fairly, like, say we were recording October 2 years, so pretty much exactly 2 years ago, like 2 years and a month now at this stage.
We released Miles Away was the day 2 years previously that we finished in tracking with Aiden.
Yeah. So can you kind of cast your minds back to that thought process? Like, did you feel as a band that, like, you know, were people kind of wondering about you? Like, did you have that kind of fire in the belly to kind of go, fuck you, you know, kind of way, we're going to do this
Like,
on our own terms?
Not so much for me. Like, I suppose what I was getting at there a second ago was just like, say, when Alex had joined, it was actually kind of just very organic. Like, say, one of the tunes on the EP was written by, like, his first gig with us was a month after he joined.
Yeah.
And one of the songs was written within 2 or 3 practices.
Yep.
Most of the songs were written pretty quickly within a few months. Just, I suppose you were probably sitting on ideas for a few years, or just kind of had some pent up ideas. But I don't think there was any kind of overarching, like, having to prove ourselves. It was just kind of a natural process. You show up to practice, you write some songs, you have fun, like, you have a good time with your mates. Anything to do with, like, overarching themes, like, normally I'd just put down to Xander's vocals at the end, but we were just writing riffs we thought were kind of cool and that fit together well.
Yeah.
And kind of thematically maybe fit together on the EP, you know, so you kind of have 2 songs that are the exact same or whatever, you know.
Yeah, but, like, I mean, the vibe of the EP is, like, it's really aggressive.
Yeah.
You know, Xander, like, I mean, you're writing the lyrics for this. What was your thought process going into it?
For the lyrics, like, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just very personal. Just feelings of just how I don't know. I feel like I'm very aware of things that go on ever since day one. You know, so it's just kind of like all the bands I used to listen to, or like, and I still do, like the lyrics that they have. The feeling and stuff, you know, when you're listening, it's like, yeah, I feel that. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And I think now as well, especially with like, even with like the whole COVID thing that's going on now, is it's mad because it's like that's how I feel, you know.
Yeah.
Just kind of like, it's like the whole thing about waste and stuff is kind of like just myself being held back from like self-doubt and all these feelings that I have. But it's like now it's just like on a level where it's just like, it feels like, do you know, like I feel like it's more relatable now to everyone who never felt like that before.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, you're
And
just
it's mad, like, it's like, and as I said, like, it's about 2.5 years nearly since,
yeah.
and it is so relevant now to
I
what
feel like I
everybody
called
does.
it, to be honest. Like, but yeah.
And you didn't want to warn us at all, like.
Yeah.
Most elaborate
guys.
PR campaign ever for
So, like, I mean,
Xander called him. Called it.
how did it feel then? Like, the 4 of you travelled up to Belfast. How did it feel as a band together for the first time,
So
heading
good.
for a gig?
Super weird, actually. Like, I was totally looking forward to it, but it felt so, like, thank you. It felt so very, very outer-worldly because we have played the last show almost 2 years ago, or yeah,
Yeah, it was.
pretty much exactly like 2 years ago, and now it's like, okay, we're playing a show now. There are other people here, and I remember you saying, like Xander saying, "Hey guys, am I allowed to stage dive? Is this okay?" And I'm like, "Hey, yeah, totally weird," but I had so much fun, like actually playing these songs, and also some new stuff, like to some people.
Yeah, and like even like as a vocalist as well, like just kind of just being back doing a gig, and I was like, I remember like we were like headlining the gig, but the band before us were just kind of, you could tell they were finishing up, and I just turned to Bobo like, and I was just like, I don't know what I'm going to say between songs. I was just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, it's just between
you're
songs.
like aware
what
of
to
what
say.
you're doing with your hands between songs.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah. But like it worked out in the end. But like
you
I
do
was
with
just
my
like, I
hands?
was just so out of practice. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, that was
it's
something that I was really watching.
How out of
your-
practice he was.
Your vocal delivery, and you know, I mean, like there are certain parts in certain songs where you're literally gasping. You know.
Yeah.
So
Thanks.
I only found out you were like, you had asthma though, like a few months ago.
Yeah.
really, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's not that bad. Well, it is, but like I just had it my whole life, so it's not really. It's just normal to me. Do you know what I mean?
That's your
So-
zero, like.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter, like.
Yeah.
But you still
Yeah.
bang out an EP in like a couple of hours though.
Like, I mean, Evan looks so relaxed. As I said before to me, might as well been had a fag in the side of the mouth.
I don't know what it, because usually maybe it's just a thing of like using my own kit. That's the good thing, but you know, like bringing everything can be a pain in the hole, especially up to Belfast for one gig. But I thought I would have this kind of like big euphoric, like fucking, oh, we're doing this again. But I was just very comfortable, like
Yeah,
enjoyed
yeah,
it
yeah.
so much.
Mm.
But it just like it just felt normal straight away. That it wasn't like this big deep thing in my head. It was just like, yeah, I'm loving doing this. I didn't really have a kind of a. It didn't feel weird. It didn't feel anything other than right, I guess.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it just felt very normal for me. Like I didn't
Yeah,
really
yeah.
have it built up in my head.
You were just in the groove. You could see that.
Like you'd forget small things, like say how you can't see your
Songs.
fret. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Fucking, or how Xander will knock me over on the fucking floor. Like,
yeah.
Just happened like 10 times.
well, like just simple things like say seeing your fret markers on the, on your bass or whatever. Say when you've got the stage lights, small things like that you just forget about from not gigging in a while.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, fuck, I'm actually shit when I'm playing live. Yeah.
Imagine.
Or stuff like, oh, now I have to move while playing the songs. Okay.
I was gassed after about 2 songs. Like, I was like, punched
Of
her.
course, yeah. I mean, we'll go through the tracks there, but I mean, Alex, that was a nice surprise as well to see you taking over backing vocals.
I actually always did that.
Yeah, but no, just as I said,
Yeah.
like for the new tracks,
Mm.
it was great to see, man. And like there was just so much going on with you for that gig, and then like it was fucking over so fast. You're just going, Jesus, it's just the strangest thing to kind of
45
wait
minutes
so
when
long.
Felt like 10.
you're playing drums is not short.
Yeah.
But it's unreal. Like.
Yeah.
I don't think
yeah,
I
thanks,
don't
man.
think we were fit enough to play another song. Like
No.
Thank God we didn't play it a year before, because I would have had a big pair of tits in me. Like, so.
I still do. I needed a sports bra for the gig.
So let's get into the tracks. Who decided on the title?
Well, I had the song called Waste, and I was trying to think of like a name for the EP, but I was just like, look, it's such a, I don't know, it's a good name, so I was just like, look, we'll just call it Waste, and everyone was like, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Go for
fairly
it.
quick, alright.
Yeah.
Just, that sounds cool. As long as it's in capitals. Like,
Of course.
You made
What's it about?
No, it's just like when we were saying it, there was like, yeah, it's cool. Stylized as
Yeah.
waste. Like,
It needs
so
to be capitals,
Be very
like, yeah,
conscious of that.
There's always has to be a qualifier. It's like if we have a fast decision, there has to be one thing where it's like this is super important. If it's not done this way, I'm not doing it at all. There's
I feel
always
like if I see someone
we're an
doing
awkward
it-
crowd. Like
Yeah, if I see someone not put in capitals, it's like, waste.
Even worn out when that's not in capitals. It's just like, no, it has to be all capitals. Like,
Well, I mean, like it's fantastic performance from all of you right through the EP. Congratulations straight away on the musicianship and your singing. Fantastic, Xander. The opening track, as you said, Waste. We'll give that a listen to. I just want to read out there the lyrics. When the paranoia overwhelms all of me, I've got nothing more than I can give. I need to find a way to break away from that feeling that keeps pushing me further away. Yeah, talk about that for a minute.
you're doing therapy now. Like just
Yeah,
slide
I
in
know.
there.
Well, that's what it is. Like, I mean, like this band is therapy to me. Like, do you know what I mean? I mean, to even just to like, just even to come up to practice is just a release. And like all the lyrics and stuff, Joe, it's like, you know, they're not really like, you know, kind of cryptic or whatever. It's very kind of straightforward and all this, but it's very real. Do you know what I mean? To me, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, as I said, it's literally just proper stress release. Anytime, especially gigs, and just the band itself. And it is kind of very selfish to kind of talk like that, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
All the lyrics, just coming up to practice, as I said. Yeah, it's just a release, and that's what the lyrics are as well.
Yeah, I mean the track itself. Can you remember how it came together?
Yeah, this was pretty much me going bananas at home. Like,
Okay.
I just thought to myself, I want to bananas. Bananas. I want to write like the most pissed off and weird sounding track that I could think of, and I had like in my mind, okay, no power chords, no chord that sounds like pleasant or like straight or whatever. And then I was like, okay, it should be fast, it should be dissonant as hell, should be super ferocious, and like pretty much the track how it is now is how I wrote it the first time. But in the meantime,
I was just about to say you're talking absolute shit.
No,
Unpussed.
no, that's not true.
Pains, unpussed.
Yeah.
This song went through so many different versions.
It started as a joke track.
Yeah, we actually.
Hilarious, yeah.
We played this song. Well, the 8-second
for the
version.
siege.
Of it.
Yeah.
No, yeah, we played it.
It was
we
a-
had,
yeah, it was
we
a
had a good
siege.
few. We had a few gigs. We had merch that was supposed to come, and Unpussed fucked it on us.
How with
so
the shirts?
we wrote like the day. It was like the day before a gig.
Yeah.
So we just wrote 8 seconds of a thing that started basically.
It's like the second last riff in the tune,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah,
just,
and it was
but
just
as a joke track. It was like
a DB and then a
Xander's goes, this is a new one. We played a song. 8 seconds later, it's like, thank you, and that was it.
I remember we played The Siege, and it was like we had that song, and it was like, what was it, about 8 seconds of it? 20
Yeah,
seconds
8
of it?
seconds.
And I
As
was
a
like-
joke, like.
And I was just like, all right, this next song is called I Want to Rock and Roll All Night and Party Every Day. And it's just like,
fuck Unpussed, isn't it?
yeah, so good tune.
And then after that, we decided we should turn it into something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There was something angry, like what Alex was saying. I suppose like he went away and kind of wrote a few riffs afterwards that went together. This was the song that actually took probably the longest, like the most iterative. The other songs were far more organic. They were like jammed together pretty quickly, and everything fell together. This one was finished last, like as in right before the studio, and it was the one I was most unsure of. As in, like I was the guy kind of at the end. We were pretty much so pissed off and like kind of constantly back and forth and arguing. It was like, I got the sense everyone's like, fuck it, it's just done. And I was kind of like, are you sure though? Like, do you actually like it, or are you just saying that now because we're sick of arguing about it? But then coming out of the studio, I think the three of you were saying it's pretty much your favourite song.
It's absolutely my favorite song.
I think
on
That's
the EP.
better force of habit.
Yeah.
But I think it was because we were almost like making changes to it for the sake of
yeah.
it changing at
Absolutely
one stage.
true.
Do you know what I mean? Like
We were just unsure at that stage, and we just needed to commit, and that was it.
Yeah.
So I went into the studio pretty much like in the back of my head going like, is this song finished? Should we be recording this? Now how it came out, I'm happy it's there. It's like three of their favourite songs. Actually, I've come around to a lot in the last while, especially since like the EP's done and dusted now, and it's like it's finished.
Yeah.
But it's probably the angriest song on the EP, and it's got a lot more like, say, I hate to say it, but like something that kind of convergy about it, which isn't on other tracks.
I hate to say that.
Well, no,
what's wrong with that? Like,
Look,
I
I
just
know
hate
everyone's going to be real pissed off about this, but
because you know I hate talking in general. So yeah, that's basically just sometimes you compromise in songs. So I felt like that was one I compromised, and in the end, I'm actually happy they kind of told me to shut the fuck up because it turned out
But
probably
also
the angriest on the EP. And
but also funny about this song, like we had this like mapped out pretty early on, and then we argued a lot actually about the song, and like played around with the parts and changed so many things. And how the song is now is actually how it was in the first place. So all the arguing for nothing. Well, not really for
sometimes
nothing.
you need to stress test it just to say you tried
Yeah.
the ideas. Like
Yeah.
as in we couldn't do better. Sometimes you just need to do that. We'll
Yeah.
start arguing right now. Actually.
Oh, fucking man.
But so Miles Away, we'll give that a listen to now. Was that the obvious single, Ev?
yeah, I
Right
think
away, yeah.
I think it was because it felt like there was, it had enough of the old elements in it, but then there was like a lot of the newer stuff. So it was that kind of, I think it was like a bridge from like what you're expecting us to sound like to what we're going to sound like. it was fairly quick enough that once we
Yeah.
in deciding that was going to be the single, because I was thinking like maybe that or like Waste, but I was like, would we leave Waste for just when the actual EP comes out and it's the first thing you hear, and just how aggressive and chaotic I guess it is, where we give something similar to what people are expecting, but then halfway through it it's a totally different thing. Do you know what I mean?
The video for it is excellent. Did Doc get the lyrics for the video, or did he just get the music?
He just did his own thing, I think.
Yeah, but we had a quick
gave
Zoom
him
meeting.
shot lists of,
Yeah.
there were certain things that we wanted in it. Like
Talk through that there.
I really, 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 really wanted the scene with the brush and the teeth. And
Yeah,
the blood.
Actually, that was one thing that we
I
both
can't
agreed on
stand
straight.
it.
I said it, and we actually had that moment where we were talking. And it was like, you could have somebody brushing their teeth, and then there's blood, and it was like one of those
Yeah,
things, like straight away
like,
thinking the same
It's
thing.
basically the whole.
What's in the
like-
lyrics we're even thinking that? Like, why were we thinking?
No, I just wanted like the idea of someone on their own, just gradually losing their mind more and more and more, just from complete solitude.
I like Xander's lyrics, like, I try to live for today, but these days keep slipping away from me. You know, where has it gone? It's, you know.
Well, that's just the overarching thing.
That's
and,
Xander called it, I suppose. Like, it
That's the
feels like a
theme.
very.
Me in a nutshell, basically.
Yeah.
like.
It feels like a very pandemic tune, and even the video, because
it's not, though.
Doc was restricted. Like,
Yeah.
say, it was during
Absolutely
lockdown
not a
restrictions.
pandemic.
So that's
Yeah,
the thing.
like, but like that's the thing. I mean, like, say, just even that, like, that's so pandemic-y, let's say. And I wrote that in like 2018,
Yeah.
2017. Like, that's just like how people feel. You know what I mean?
Especially
Just
with
that-
18.
Well,
No, it was
17. Sorry.
18.
17.
I joined 18.
But no, what I wrote.
Oh,
the lyrics.
that's- I
the
didn't know
lyrics,
that.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying. I didn't know that.
All right.
So you're just sitting on
Well,
loads of
yeah,
lyrics.
Just
yeah,
giving us
they'll-
an inside scoop here,
They'll
man.
jump
Yeah.
on you straight away there, Xander. like.
Yeah, no, but yeah,
Oh,
I
you'll
know,
start to
I
see
know,
the
yeah,
dynamics now. Like,
Yeah.
But it's just like it's just
this is
like
our longest
um,
arguing since 2017.
Only 5 more minutes.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's just, do you know, like, it, like, obviously it's not just me that can kind of feel this. And to be fair, that was back then, and I was, you know, in a different mind space. But like, I mean, that's how it can feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, when people are kind of like, oh, look, don't worry about it. Just live for today. Like, and the days are flying. Do you get me? Like, it's just like,
Yeah.
like,
There's a great segment in the song where you're saying, "Where is it gone?" and Alex just creates the sound with the guitars, like your nerves are shredding. You know that
Yeah,
sequence
that's
there.
actually exactly what I wanted to do there.
Yeah,
So it's so cool that
fucking
you
hell.
actually.
And then the perfect.
had to be done. Like,
Yeah, it's actually me.
you'd
But
say
I-
I'm doing it as well as though.
You're amazing.
Yeah, like
Oh.
even
Oh,
when
you're
I'm
amazing.
even when I'm playing those tracks back, like, you
In
know,
the
like
shower.
miles away, like I'm actually singing Alex's parts. They're just waiting for him to come in and go
In the shower, like.
Like it's grabbing.
Where has it gone?
That's all you can hear from
Where
inside.
has it gone?
It's like, where's it gone? Where's it gone?
Hey, honey, where's it gone? Have you seen my phone? Where has it gone?
Why would you have your phone in the shower, man? Come on.
So
now.
the next
It's
the next
waterproof.
track is my favorite track. It's Blind Eye, and we'll have a listen to it there. A really nice hook at the start of it, but then that disappears again into just pure fucking aggressive playing. Again, Blind Eye title.
Xander.
Just
bad eyesight, like.
yeah. No, but like, I mean, I don't know, like, I mean, there's kind of things that go on, and we turn a blind eye to it.
Okay.
again, just very straightforward, but sounds cool. So
I actually like that about your lyrics a lot, that it's very like not having something overly cryptic, which is has its cool points, but I think it's very obvious that there is a theme, whether it was purposeful or not. But like,
thanks, man.
No worries. Yeah. But I think just that we couldn't have come up with a better title than Waste, because it is about just feeling like you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing in life. There's work, there's your 9 to 5 doing whatever. This is what you actually love doing, and everything else is just filler until you get to do that thing that you actually get a release off.
Yeah, but like, people can relate to this as well. Like, I've bit my
Anyone
tongue
with a
for
job.
so long. I've lost count all the times that I've been wronged. Now all the hope in your spirit is gone. You can never be let down. You know, that's pretty cool, man. You know, a lot of people can kind of go, fuck it, yeah, I can understand where he's coming from there.
Yeah.
And how you built the lyrics around that type of music as well is pretty cool. Writing it, Brian, maybe just from the bass side of things, what are your memories of that, going in with that?
This
track?
song was literally, I'd say this was like written within about 2-3 weeks of you joining the band.
When I joined the band, we actually, the first practice we already started like with the opening riff. It was a little bit different back then.
We accidentally ripped off another band. We probably shouldn't say it, or else people start noticing
I
it.
was hoping you wouldn't.
Yeah. So,
Thank you.
but we changed the riff
doesn't
after
sound
we
nothing like
noticed,
it now,
and now
yeah.
it's completely different. But
Thank you, Alex, for noticing that.
and then shout out there, like.
Yeah.
But so yeah, he saved the day. So we ended up playing that for our first gig with you probably a month later. So that was a very quick process.
And miles away.
And miles away. Jeez, we're on top of shit. We're way
Was it?
slower now.
No, it was just Blind Eye for
I'd
the first
say it was
show.
just the one.
The second show we played Miles Away.
Either way, we need to get our
I don't
shit together now.
remember anything.
We're way faster back then. So I suppose the bass was very organic in that we were kind of writing and arranging some parts together. Like say, this was actually a very in the room track, Blind Eye. So we were kind of sitting and kind of saying this riff would work. Maybe move up a fret there, down a fret there. We were chatting it out, and then I just knew there was probably space because it was kind of a sparse guitar part, so there was a bit of room to kind of just make it a little bit busier or kind of a little bit more dense. So I just filled in over. Like, it's probably, I'd say, the first or second thing I played just ended up in the track.
Right.
I'm a reformed guitarist playing bass, so I just want to show off if I can sometimes.
Alex, tell us your favourite part about that song.
Favorite part is like after the first chorus when it gets chaotic, because I'm totally into chaotic music. When the chords become indecipherable, and also there's this like little thing, like some little spazzy thing going on, and
That's me.
Yeah, that's totally
We'll
you.
get to you in a minute.
Yeah.
I'm the
Shut up, Evan.
spaz.
No, but this is probably like my favorite part, and what I like about this song, it's pretty chaotic and it's pretty dissonant at parts, but the chorus is like probably the most chorusy and melodic thing that we have so far, and it's like a nice contrast, and I always like playing these parts.
Yeah, I remember you came to my house to do the first interview, and you had that track or some of that track on
The
on
demo,
your
like-
phone.
Yeah.
That's right. I remember listening to it.
Were you going around showing off our demos?
Yes, we were.
It's got its benefits. Brian.
What?
So
You're ratting me
I
out
want
here?
to pull Evan on the program drums at the end of the track.
The whole thing is programs.
Fuck's sake.
It was re-recorded afterwards. Ben Wonders did the entire thing.
Yeah.
Just
Don't lower his name to us.
What was the idea of that at the end?
That is, they're not programmed drums. I'll actually show you after. There's a pinball machine here in Blackpool
Okay.
that you saw when you were coming
correct,
in.
yeah.
And I've wanted to, for so long, just to have a recording of that pinball machine, because it plays a certain song that everyone that practices up here in Cork knows it. Because there could be days that you're waiting for a taxi sitting there and you're hearing...
if somebody brushes off it, it's going for like an hour.
Actually,
It's if you're hungover, it's burned into your skull. Like
Ever gig. It was in upstairs.
UCC with Godmother.
Bar, like new bar, and it was
With the taxis.
We were literally on in like an hour, like, and we were still here trying to go up. And we were
No,
there
half
for-
the lads were.
Yeah. Like,
with the
but
gear
I'm
though.
Oh yeah, I remember.
We were so stressed trying to, but like, we were so stressed trying to get to the venue, trying to get taxis, and it was like you rang one taxi, he's like, no, I'm not coming up for whatever reason.
Yeah, there was some
It
confusion or
was too
something
busy,
as well.
Like it was like really busy, and like that sound
remind
going on in the background while we're
straight away. Yeah.
stress of that.
First gig, and we were like,
And so literally,
I was-
that's what you're saying. That's what finishes
Brian-
that track.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
still-
great.
still in front
I
of
just
like-
went
up
out
and
like,
mic'd it,
yeah, I was. You were actually, because that was when my finger was cut off.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So I went out. It was like when you were practicing for that gig that Kenzie had to fill in for me.
Yeah.
And I
Shout
just
out
went
to
up front.
Kenzie, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, lovely man.
Yeah.
No better man to replace me.
Yeah.
Careful. Come on.
Shit, I should be, yeah. But yeah, so my finger had gotten like pretty much cut off. Well, say down to through the tendon, so I had to get reattached like 2 weeks before recording. So yeah, that was just one of those things. Even when I was up in studio, I was just like, say, nighttime, wherever we were all staying in a hotel room in between recording sessions. So I just sat there on the laptop and just put together the recording then just for the end of the sounds, like in the song section
to
thing.
do.
Yeah,
Cool.
just for something to do while I'm at the studio, because I had to track everything myself later than at home with 3 fingers.
People from Cork have messaged me like, "There's no fucking way that ye have the pinball machine from Blackpool on." And I was waiting.
Yeah,
I
we
think
do.
Jack from Carosa was the first person, and he'd like, all it was just the pinball machine, and I knew exactly what he was talking about. Like,
I'm waiting
so
for like
cool.
the Suzuki Yamamoto Corporation that owns the pinball machines to just come back with a copyright thing or whatever. Like,
yeah, because remember we were thinking like, what if it actually gets flagged on something like we
Yeah.
don't know, like.
No, I haven't charted in Japan yet. Okay.
No, that.
Yes.
So Force of Habit, the last track.
Every day is the same. Every day is the same.
Was it an obvious closer? Anyone want to take up that?
We close our sets with it.
we've
Yeah.
always, like, from our very first gig, we closed our set with that one. That was
Okay.
written very early on. That closing section even was written by Evan, but he couldn't remember writing. He was shit-faced in my house playing guitar. That's probably one of our oldest songs as well. Like this dates back to when Isaac, like the original guitarist, was in the band.
Oh, right,
Um,
okay.
He would have had a part in kind of arranging the song and kind of moving around some riffs, and definitely like was a big help with that song. It wasn't his particular favourite,
No,
which is
he
why
didn't
we
like
hadn't
it.
recorded
He didn't like
up
it
to
at
that
all.
point.
Shout out
I
to
think
Isaac.
we'll eventually
Yeah.
talk him round. But so it's the oldest song essentially. Like the riffs it's more riff salady. Some of the riffs came from like just ideas I had, kind of rearranging. This was kind of a very iterative process, but like it was a quick song to write. We all did it kind of collaboratively. It was very much done in the room back then. Just a few riffs I brought in, then Isaac edited or moved around or kind of rearranged. Alex put a bit of flair in it.
Yeah, I Alex it up.
Yeah, like say you tracked one part wrong, but I didn't know until I was tracking the bass at home, and I realised. So I was like, fuck
Because
it.
I never knew like
if I
how this
hadn't
is
noticed in
actually played.
studio, obviously it wasn't a big deal, so I
Yeah.
just changed it. But you actually went playing major notes, which was weird for you. Like,
I don't do major notes
Yeah.
ever.
well, you did there. You chose to. But yeah, I suppose it was obvious just because it's always been our set closer. It feels like the outro section is a kind of closing thing to play. It's maybe a little bit less attached to the rest of the EP. You can tell it's written in a different place or a different time. But I even like the fact that, say, Evan has a guitar credit on it. Like, say, he's written the guitar for the last section.
Okay.
He couldn't remember it for shit. Like, I brought it up to practice. Like,
I remembered it after.
with the recording, yeah. I brought up, like, it was like, I know how to finish this song, and just rooted out the laptop, found a recording with the worst playing ever. But actually, it's kind of intentional. Like, the playing is actually a little bit sloppy in the way we play it now, still, just because the drunkenness
Yeah.
works. It's kind
Yeah,
of like
yeah.
simplicity. Like,
Yeah, and the lyric there, always looking for inspiration, but there's nothing there. And then Evan's kind of drum roll in that part as well is pretty cool.
The fiddly diddly diddly diddly
Yeah.
diddle diddle. Yeah, yeah.
Fiddly diddle.
Fiddly diddly
All
diddly
right,
diddly
cool.
diddle diddle. Yeah.
And
crack.
there's a strange section as well in that song that it stops and then it cuts in again near the end.
Every day is the same.
I
section.
might have fucked up the upload.
There's the part where it just glitches halfway. Like,
Yeah. Sounds like Frontier.
yeah.
Yeah.
Choo.
So obviously massive shout out to Aidan Cunningham, who did a fantastic job with it. How important is he for the band?
Not at all. Fuck it.
Yeah. He's
No,
not.
we love Aidan. Like,
We
Yeah,
can say whatever we
definitely.
want. He's not going to be watching this.
he's hanging out with Will Putney.
Yeah, he's too busy now.
Yeah, we have great time for Aidan. I think the production and everything that was done on this one compared to the others is very I think with this, like, there's a level of like finding your feet is like, this is where we want, this is a certain sound that we want. Whereas the previous stuff, not that we didn't know what we were doing, we were just, I think, a bit more
Compromising.
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
bit more like, yeah, cool, whatever you want to do, it's grand, I'll just play the song. But even drum wise, I went and rented the exact snare that I wanted, because I can't afford to buy a fucking Ludwig Black Beauty, there's no way. And we were very like, I want this to sound like this. I think Aidan liked like a kind of a more mid-tuned snare, so he got to tune it when we got there, and I was like, yeah, didn't even play it, and I was just like, we're going up.
Snap.
Yeah, snap.
Like, yeah, we definitely knew more what we wanted this time. It's not like we're the finished article now at all, but we have a good starting block for what we kind of like in our recordings.
Yeah.
Like, say, Xander would never been... Well, I would speak for you, am I? No, I shouldn't really. It's kind of rude. I'll do it anyway.
What are you saying?
You never, I suppose, really liked the idea of doubled up vocals, but it was normally on your
Yeah,
previous
yeah,
stuff. So
And now it was just straight up just one. Not
rawer.
one
yeah,
raw
yeah.
take,
Yeah.
yeah.
and it's just so much better.
Heavy dose of
Um,
compression, and that's
yeah.
it. Like, say, we sat down, we demoed out stuff properly this time. We sat down, we pretty much knew exactly what we wanted sound-wise and stylistically going in. Say, I had to track the bass myself afterwards. It was a bit strange. Probably not ideal for Aidan either, having to mix it, so it probably made it more difficult for him. But my finger was like pretty much hanging off. So
Yeah.
after about 3 weeks, after we got back from studio, I just sat there after finishing work late at night and just had to do it through headphones, but tracked everything. Didn't like comping stuff, so I'd just give it 1,000 takes, a lot of swear words. Naturally you'll try and bend your finger, but I wasn't able to. Like, it was like the tendon was reattached, so I tracked pretty much the whole EP with 3 fingers. Took a good few takes. There's one place where Alex plays bass on it, where like the first riff and waste.
Yeah, the first riff on Waste, because we finished the song like really
Yeah.
seconds before we went into the studio, so
Yeah.
he never played it actually.
There was this lack of, like, I suppose there's no
Yeah.
point having an ego and saying I want to make sure I played every part, because you play the right hand pattern. That's your riff, and you kind of know how to play it best. So it's
I
kind of
played all the drums though.
I'm glad to hear
No, we
that.
programmed fucking everything.
You don't know it yet, but it's all replaced,
and
man.
Beat Detective.
He programmed them from the videos of me playing the drums. The idea.
That's
came
what
from-
No,
you think.
Aidan painstakingly cut every drum of yours into place.
I don't remember either.
Yeah, because we weren't there. Like when we got home, like 1 week after, we drove up to Dublin again. Just Brian and I.
Just to go see the zoo. Like, we went to the National Museum. Like,
Say that was something, but
I just got it now.
Xander, working with Aidan as a vocalist, how did you find that?
Very good.
Your
Yeah, like-
performance, your delivery, everything is absolutely fucking top class.
Thank you, sir.
It's one of the highlights of the EP. Sorry, lads, but
oh, it's the best.
No,
thing.
I agree with
by
you.
far,
I
he's the
100%
only
agree
actually
with you.
talented guy in the band.
Cheerleaders.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so go on. Just had to get that in.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, no, like, I mean, say I'm recording with Aidan. I mean, like, say that's literally the only producer I've ever worked with, to be honest.
Okay.
Since day one. I mean, I've had
With Orca as well.
Orca as well, yeah. Different projects where it was just like Orca, and then obviously then worn out.
Amigra.
Emigra.
Did you do
We
it?
never recorded with Emigra. No,
Did you know?
no, that was Alex.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mixed the two of you up the whole time, though, you know?
Yeah.
Even when I said you were class, I meant Alex.
Yeah, but yeah, like, I mean, yeah, legend, top man.
Yeah. No, I
Make
agree.
shit tea though.
Also, what I really have to say about the vocal performance on this, when we were up in Dublin and Xander was recording, I was actually honestly stunned. Like, the stamina that Xander had kept going and going and going and not like being exhausted at all, and that's actually incredible. And I always say, and I really mean it, Xander is one of the top 3 vocalists that I have ever worked with, hands
Name the
down.
other two.
Thank
Me
you.
and you. Two of us.
But so it's all done and dusted, and the next step then was to get the art right for the EP. You really spoiled for choice in the Irish scene.
Yeah, we are, to be fair.
Um,
There's such, and there's
like-
people killing it as well.
Yeah.
like.
So you went with James Sheridan in the end.
Yeah.
Knocked it out of the park, of course. Shout out to James. So, first of all, how did you decide on James? Was there any of his particular work that stood out for you that you kind of...
Like, he had done poster work for us before. There was a tour that we were supposed to do just before the pandemic, and he did an amazing job. But I think it was just the way the EP was sounding kind of suited that.
His
like,
style,
his
yeah.
style, yeah. We knew.
Okay. We agree on nothing. Like, say, even when we're trying to talk about something through
Yes,
the group
we
chat.
always agree on stuff. Like,
No, we don't.
yes, we do.
No, we don't.
Yes,
I'm
no,
sure
we
he's
don't.
right.
now,
No,
lads.
I've changed my mind. He's right. So
Here we go again.
we'd normally have to have something, say, especially for visual things. They're so hard to discuss. Especially, like, say, we're shit at the group chat. We
Definitely.
turn everything into an argument. Like, if you told me the sky is blue, I'd say it's green.
Yeah.
So true.
So I'd have to have
So
something
true.
where it's like, here's option A, B, C, and D. Pick one and just go by a vote almost. But with James, it was actually unanimous. You say the word, please.
Unanimously.
Thank you.
And I'm the German.
Yeah, but that's why I knew you'd get it right.
Ah, okay.
Efficient.
Whoa, hold on.
Whoa.
We kind of agreed on him pretty quickly, as in just his style's perfect. He'd done a lot of previous stuff we're big fans of. I think the vibe he does nails just the grittiness, the kind of like disgusting,
grittiness
ratty.
is-
Absolutely.
Yeah. And he's just always kind of interesting creatively. He gave us, I'd say, about 3 or 4 different ideas, and just we were actually probably a little bit shit for him to work with, because we were kind of like, that's class, we might use it for a poster or this or that or whatever, but it wasn't quite it. And he just sent one and straight away everyone was like, perfect,
Yeah,
that's it.
when we saw this, it was straight away from all of us, this is sick.
It made us want to rewrite the EP to deserve the artwork. It was better, like.
Did you actually give him the EP for him to listen to?
did we give
Or-
him the demos, or we gave him we gave him a mix? I don't
Yeah,
know
not
if
the
we had
final
it.
mix, but
Yeah.
we gave him some mix from the EP, actually.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to ask, did we pay him for a second?
Obviously not.
Just saying it
outs us,
officially,
like-
yes, we did.
And again, there was no tracks left over.
No. We kind of went in like, we have a lot of songs, but it's very like, again, when it starts getting into like a filter stage where we'll have structures and everything, and that's when we'll like really start, like more so now, like as we're progressing, I think we have a certain level that we want to hit, that like almost a quality check, that we know things have to be, and that's where it's, starts going to smaller things. So I think we put a lot of time into these songs, because I think the EP sounds like a cohesive
Absolutely.
piece,
Yeah,
like
it
that
is.
aggression in it, and I think that's what we were all kind of feeling at the time, and how we work things, so it all just kind of worked fairly well into
I was
each
shocked
other.
And
how aggressive it was, like, and not an inch given.
Yeah,
Really.
I mean, I also feel like you can really tell that the songs were written like in a close proximity together, because they have like a specific feel that all the
Yeah,
songs share.
yeah.
Even Force of Habit, even though this was written like way before, but it just fits in well, actually.
Yeah,
It is quite samey, you're right, guys.
Yeah.
It's watered down, it's fucking...
6 out of
yeah.
10, unlistenable.
like, like, as obviously there's a 2.5 year gap now. Do you think your sound has developed more
Yeah.
as a band?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unrecognisable almost.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that, but
Well-
it's not. Gee, we're not fucking K-pop, like. But yeah, like,
Yes.
I mean, you heard 2 new songs,
Yeah.
brand new songs that we played in Belfast, and they got a great kind of reaction. There's a few people that came up that were like, the songs that you were saying that were going to be or EP are sick, but like, what the fuck is up with those new things? It's like, who are ye?
Yeah.
But like in a good way, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
there's a
yeah.
lot. I don't want to be like, because we don't know what's going to be on the next release or when it is,
Yeah.
and I think we just released something as well, so there's no point in like trying to get ready for
Yeah.
the next thing. I think
We're still finding our sound to a degree. Like, say, we have a couple of new songs we're happy enough to play live. We're sitting on a good few, like, sketches, ideas, nearly finished songs that just
Yeah.
need that bit extra, or just even we're not playing them tight in the room yet, because it's impossible to... Over the pandemic, you couldn't really stay gig tight, and
Yeah.
you couldn't really come up and... It's like songwriting's like a muscle. You kind of have to exercise it, so we're still working it out. I think we've got some strong material there. It's related to this stuff, but it's still very different sounding as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we're getting weirder.
We're getting weirder.
And
We're
what
getting
scene would you like to break into tour
any of them
wise?
that
Would
have
it- would it
money
be
in them.
Europe,
UK, I'd say.
Yeah,
is
UK.
the next.
yeah.
Yeah,
UK
okay.
is next. That'll come out when it'll come out.
Even for the ease of booking, like, say, in Ireland, it's a nightmare. Like, say, we
Yeah.
were meant to have another gig right after Belfast, but, like, say, looking at UK, they just seem to be more on top of things. Like, you can try and arrange things a bit quicker, you know.
It's
Yeah,
nice as
definitely.
well when the EP came out. there's a huge amount of people from the UK. Like it's amazing what the internet can do. Like we put it out and then
It's
hours
an internet
later-
class, isn't it?
it's such a great
But
event.
straight away you're getting offers for this and this and this. Do you know what I mean? Like people are kind of. It's nice to know that it's not just people. I know at the start we're like, oh, your friends listen to it. It's nice to hear that there is people everywhere kind of listening to it and it's spreading.
Like the US, we got a couple of vinyl orders from the US.
Nice.
Someone from Australia, a couple from Germany.
We should have set the shipping prices
I
correctly
fucked the
beforehand.
shit because I wasn't expecting people like the amount of orders from the US that we got is like.
We were just like, nobody outside of Cork's going to buy this.
That's
Like,
what I was thinking, like, sick. We'll just rob them of the shipping money and walk to their houses.
And
But
of course, you had
Nah.
an advantage of the advantage over many bands insofar as that you had your vinyl already made.
Oh yeah.
we put that in November or start of December last
Who
year.
did you go to, by the way?
The X Music X is
yeah,
the name of it?
they're
X Vinyl
based
X,
in
yeah.
the Czech Republic.
X Vinyl X, yeah.
I think we'd heard them because the Scratch used them.
No, it was,
Was it?
a friend of mine that runs Harlequin Records in Wexford.
Yeah.
She just recommended them so much, saying that these guys they will get the best quality that you're looking for.
Yeah.
We
they-
went with them.
And they do like a shitload of stuff. Like a lot of bands that you probably know probably have their vinyl press there. They're one of the biggest ones and the most reliable ones in,
Yeah.
in
We
Europe.
put the- yeah,
we just
like-
wanted reliability, but being honest, like say when I was sending everything to get it printed, even like they were very easy to deal with.
Yeah.
There was like I'd say honestly 3 or 4 emails, and it's just like, yep, you'll get them in. I think at the time it was a 6-month lead
We got
time.
them in June.
Now Adele's fucked everybody else, so it's
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be like a
Well,
year
that was
for.
the thing. We knew it was going to be
Thanks,
long,
Adele.
but that's actually we won't get to that. But like, we knew it was going to take ages, and our thing was like we didn't want to. Like when it came out, we wanted it out. We didn't want to be sitting on like, okay, now we're going to get this, and the first time we see it is the first time other people see it.
Yeah.
Like I remember being here in like June and seeing it for the first time and just being like, also in my head being like, nobody is going to see or know the
That is
fact
the
that I
weirdest
have
thing.
this in my hand for months. I didn't show it to anybody. Like we told people we were getting vinyls done, but we didn't tell them that we like had them. Do you know, we didn't tell them that there's boxes and
Yeah, they've been
Alex's
sitting in my
house.
place for half a year. Literally, like, Jesus.
Did you actually buy a record player yet, Evan?
Me, I've a record player. Yeah.
You've had one for years. You just
Yeah,
don't.
I've had one for years.
You just don't take it out much. It's probably covering dog hair.
No, I had see. The problem is that one, the one that I had in my old house, I left that in my parents' house when I was moving. But I have a small, shitty one now.
Yeah.
But I'll have to wait till I have my own place before adding another one.
There's
in.
probably fans bought the vinyl anyway that didn't have a record player, which is pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I think it's even just. I think a lot of people see it as a collector's thing.
Yeah.
Look, it helps supporting bands as well. Like, I mean,
It's a nice piece, like.
right in front of me.
there you go.
Cool. I won't
We've
go
a
on
test
about the
press.
signatures behind.
Oh, show them the signatures. We have a test
Well,
press.
show 'em
here
your
somewhere.
signature.
Dude.
Xander has the worst.
Yeah.
Or actually, just show
geez.
off
Your
Xander's
signature is
signature. Like,
incredible, like.
I don't want to be the
Football
best.
standard.
I don't want
Aw.
to be the worst.
That's
like
fucking
that
class.
is not an autograph. Like you wrote that with
It's
your
two
toes.
circles.
I'm just saying this is actually a really big moment for me because usually people
I paid
laugh
for
at my
the black
one.
version of the vinyl.
The packed version. We didn't give you the option for that. Oh, the black version of it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty
it's
cool.
in the post.
So you got a Limerick gig coming up.
28th of January. Yeah. I've realised as well. I've been in Limerick about 5 or 6 times.
Since
sometimes
then,
with
yeah.
yourself than I have anywhere else now. Like it's
I
like a
think we all
second
have
home.
Just John and Kieran seems just to be running a tighter ship than a lot of places. Really,
Yeah,
like, they're
definitely.
putting the hard yards in to keep something going there. Like
Shout out Tall John, like.
Tall
Yeah.
John,
Like, seriously, I think they just, like, keep the shit going, like, in Ireland altogether.
and it's fucking thankless. Like you know,
So you'll have plenty of merch for sale as well in Limerick,
Yeah,
which is
we'll
great.
have a shit ton of merch.
more than we can sell.
Yeah,
That's fine too.
and we have a lot more stuff to announce, but that'll kind of be
Good to
Announced.
announced at the right time. Oh wait, when this is out on the 17th.
hear. Correct, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
today we have a new music video for Waste done by Chariot of the Black Moth.
That's
Black
correct.
Moth.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
I knew that. But
Cool.
if you check it out on YouTube,
Give it a listen.
And give it a dislike.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see the dislikes anymore, but
Make
do it
sure-
anyway.
celebrate the YouTube for doing
Thanks.
that because some people are actually. Just
Oh no!
assholes,
See, I'm
like-
kind of annoyed because like I kind of always see it like you're kind of making it when you get that one dislike the second you put a video up. It means you're starting to do well when the Irish begrudgery kicks in. Like you know.
Okay, so look, lads, congratulations once again on Waste. The impact was a firm punch in the face that gloriously hurt, but the blood tasted great. I wish you nothing but success and thanks for coming on the show. All hail, worn out.
I love you.
Thanks, Richie.
Thanks,
You're
man.
a good man.
Cheers, lads.
Legend.